Before we begin, let me just say I love the artwork that is the subject of this scrambled paragraph. Unfortunately, the artist is no longer with us. A study in the evocative power of irresolution and fluidity, Brooklyn-born artist Jean-Michel Basqiat's Piscine versus the Best Hotels was created out of disparate materials, all treated with calculated irreverence. Let's first take an attempt at finding a first follow-on sentence. At the lower right, for instance, that's probably not a first follow-on. Sounds like a supporting example. Diverse ideas, Q, collide haphazardly on the surface. That's a possibility. T, it, I assume referring to the Piscine versus the Best Hotels, it also has the look of a page ripped from a sketchbook. That's another possibility. U, with its exposed stretched bars, irregular joints, and hastily attached photocopies, the work appears to be falling apart at the seams. That's certainly another option. R, images and words were recorded only to be edited immediately after. That's a possibility. My guess is probably too detailed. Unfortunately, we see there are probably 3 or 4 potential options for a first follow-on, so that is probably not the best approach for this scrambled paragraph. I think probably finding good sentence pairs among the 5 sentence choices is a better start. So let's take a look at that in more detail. After reading these, I see a couple different options for pairs that seem to fit well for me. One is, with its exposed stretch bars, irregular joints, and hastily attached photocopies, the work appears to be falling apart at the seams. That kind of leads then into it also indicating that it comes afterward, and I think it comes immediately afterward. T has the look of a page ripped from a sketchbook. So U tells us it's falling apart at the seams, and T tells us it's also like a sketchbook being ripped apart at the pages. 2 similar ideas logically. So I like the U then T sentence pair. Where exactly it goes, I'm not sure yet. Another potential fit for me is images and words recorded only to be edited immediately after. And then S, that's R, S, at the lower right, for instance, are 10 canvases of identical size. Each one tests a different iteration of the same composition, a headless female torso and the word Venus. So the headless female torso is the image and the word Venus. So we're repeating the word, word, not to introduce a pun. So it looks to me, R tells us that images and words were recorded and then edited, and then S gives us an instance or an example, and it literally says an instance of that is the image of the torso and the word Venus. So it looks like you have a typical logical structure in what appears to be an explanatory paragraph about Jean-Michel Basquiat's work, that you have images and words, and an instance of those images and words, or example, is the picture of the torso and the word Venus. So I think the R then S pair. So now the question is, what do we do with those 2 pairs? Which one comes first in the ordering? And then we're left with Q outstanding still. Does that come at the beginning? Does it come in between the 2 pairs or blocks? Or does it come at the end? So essentially, before we look at the next ordering, we're down to 4 choices. We've got 3 choices for Q, beginning, middle, or end, and we have 2 pairs. The question is, which block of those pairs come together? So we've eliminated from 120 choices down to 4. We're well on our way by putting together some sentence pairs here. I would argue that the pair of U and then T is a bigger idea. It says the whole work has this appearance of being ripped apart and falling apart at the seams. And then the next pair of images and words being mixed together with the word Venus is more detailed, almost an example or another added fact related to the artwork. So I like the UT pair first before the R then S pair. So does Q come at the beginning, the middle, or the end? Let's test it at the beginning. So the end of the first sentence is all treated with calculated irreverence. Does that then flow into Q? Diverse ideas collide haphazardly on its surface, and then U with its exposed stretched bars. I don't think that's quite right because Q uses the pronoun its, to refer to the painting. U, again, with its exposed. My guess is one of those would actually be a proper noun. It's a possibility, but perhaps not the best. Let's try Q at the end. At the lower right, for instance, 10 canvases, test different iterations of the same composition. Diverse ideas collide haphazardly on its surface. I think the best option is Q in the middle. And essentially, Q introduces the diverse ideas colliding haphazardly on the surface. R is an example of Q. Images and words are recorded in utterance. So those are two ideas that collided haphazardly on the surface. And then S is a further example, the instance of the female torso and the word Venus. So you almost have a logical structure of Q is ideas colliding. Those particular ideas are images and words, and then S, you have an instance of images and words. We introduce the artwork, and then U and T expand or elaborate on the artwork, indicating in a bigger picture how it's almost a collection of parts that are falling apart or torn from a sketchbook. So then we have the idea of diverse ideas colliding on its surface. An example of that, images and words, and a further detailed example of that being an image of a torso and the word Venus. And that is the correct ordering for this problem. I hope that helped. Good luck.